My name is Caitlin Roberts and I'm a freshman here at the University of Mount Union. I am doing my presentation over Margaret Atwood's novel, The Handmaid's Tale. I chose to further my knowledge in this reading because I do not consider myself a feminist, but I am always interested in hearing the views of other individuals. Feminism is the advocacy of women's rights on the grounds of political, social, and economic value to men. According to her biography, a credible online source, Margaret Atwood, a well-known author, often voiced her opinion dealing with this controversial issue through different styles of writing such as poetry, short stories, and even novels. The Handmaid's Tale is one of the many novels that Margaret Atwood wrote to discuss the controversial topic of feminism. There are many themes and issues in the novel that many individuals both agree and disagree with. One of the many themes that occur in the novel that I will discuss happens to be feminism, women, and the act of femininity that women often face every day. Feminism has always been a problem in our society, and it still continues to be an issue in today's world. In the novel, women are not supposed to use their minds to develop their own ideas or opinions. The women discussed in the novel are forbidden by their culture from reading, working outside of their homes, or even spending money. The act of femininity continues throughout the novel as the author writes, "My nakedness is strange to me already. Did I really wear bathing suits at the beach? I did without thought, among men, without caring that my legs, my arms, my thighs, and back were on display, could be seen, shameful and modest. I avoid looking down at my body, not so much because it's shameful or immodest, but because I don't want to see it. I don't want to look at something that determines me so completely." In this quote, the narrator attempts to separate herself from her body and what her body represents. She says, "I don't want to look at something that determines me so completely." She believes that she is more than just a body. She dislikes the way that society views her based off of her form and fertility. In our world, women often live based off of others' opinions on themselves, instead of realizing the importance of integrity. Your looks do not define you, however, your actions, values, and words do. I found this next quote to be very interesting as well. In the novel, The Handmaid's Tale, Atwood continues by writing, "This is the kind of touch they like, folk art, archaic, made by women in their spare time, from things that have no further use. A return to traditional values. Waste not, want not. I am not being wasted, why do I want?" The narrator compares herself and the other handmaids to folk art, archaic, using the proverb, waste not, want not. Both the women and the art are believed and portrayed to be decorative and pointless. However, leftovers that have not been used. Feeling both useless and used up, the narrator plays on the word want, reminding herself why she isn't the same as a useless piece of art or an art project. The last quote that I will discuss happens to be my favorite of them all. "Can I be blamed for wanting a real body to put my arms around? Without it, I am too disembodied. I can stroke myself under the dry white sheets in the dark, but I am too dry and white, hard, granular. It's like running my hand over a plate full of dried rice. It's like snow. I am like a room where things were once happened and now nothing does, except the pollen of the weeds that grow up outside the window, blowing in as dust across the floor." In this quote, the narrator feels dispassionate and disconnected from her own body and physical appearances. According to Pete Stillman and Ann Johnson, even when she tries to touch herself, she doesn't feel anything. She just thinks of herself as an empty room. In the non-fictitious world that we live in today, women often degrade themselves due to their physical appearances. Women must come to the realization that they are more than just a walking object. We must look past our physical appearances and discover that our words and actions are the two traits that are most important. In closing, I will leave you with this. Women and their peers often define themselves through unimportant factors such as their physical appearances, job title, political views, etc. Honesty and integrity through our words and actions is what defines us. Remember, women in particular, you are more than just an empty room or a walking object. You're a beautiful individual leaving a legacy in our crazy world.